Are you a music therapist, music educator, or some other music professional? And if you're just like me, do you dread around the holiday time when you get asked, what do you want for Christmas? Well, here are 10 gift ideas that you can actually use. Let's go. If you're new here, hey, I'm Chris. I'm a music therapist and I'm a music therapy educator at the University of Louisville, but I've also worked in foster care facilities, senior living homes, hospitals, addiction recovery facilities for about the last 10 years. So my students, other people are always asking, what can we get for Christmas? What can we ask for? What would be helpful? Because I'm sure some of you have stories about those cringy musical items that you've received for the holidays. Well, this is a list of 10 things. 5 of them are going to be under $50 that I think you can actually use. All right, first up on our list is the tried and true egg shaker set. So this set that is off of Amazon, we've bought 3 sets of them, I think. They're just regular old egg shakers. They're a little loud, a little abrasive, which can be good or it could be annoying. So, don't go for these if that's a little abrasive, but they do cut. It's called Ogshi. They're solid. They're around $20. So this is an easy, doesn't really matter where people are working, like egg shakers are a solid choice. All right, for number 2 on the list, most of y'all students, even most of y'all music therapists are playing your guitar with nasty, ratchet, decrepit old strings. So a new set of guitar strings would be great. So I'm actually going to tell you about one of my most favorites. This is not a classical guitar, but I find a lot of students, professionals like using the nylon string. I actually started using this just because this guitar is cheap and it needed the nylon strings that had a little less tension on the guitar. But these are ball end nylon strings. That means they go in just like regular acoustic guitar string. The brand I happen to like a lot is Ernie Ball's Earthwood nylon ball end, and they're $7. So you could get multiple sets. That it seems like on Amazon they had some multi-packs and things like that. But that is how you can very easily get that folk guitar feel without having to buy a classical guitar. I like this because it plays more like an acoustic guitar rather than a classical guitar. All right, number 3, boom whackers. If you're a family member, you might have not ever seen these before, but most music therapists are going to be familiar with boom whackers. So they're the kind of thing that I think are perfect for this list because I wouldn't want to go out of my way to buy boom whackers, but to have them are super great. So if you don't know what they are, it's like little pitched tubes. And you can play, a melody, you can play chords, recreate songs, all kinds of stuff. In the description below actually also comes with these little bass caps. These are cool because it goes from playing this, and I don't know how the physics works, but when you cap it off, it's an octave lower. 4th on our list in our under $50 category, I would say a decent capo. I really like this Kaiser brand. They're solid. I think it's around $20. The link I have here actually has a bunch of different fun colors, so you can find a color that people like. I've got this red one, but a lot of the cheap capos that people get aren't holding the string tension down enough, and capos tend to run away anyway, so I think a capo is a great gift. And our last one for under $50 is a USB microphone. I don't happen to have one in the room with me, but here is the Blue Snowball microphone. It's a great choice. Really, any USB microphone is going to be a big upgrade to using like a cell phone or a webcam if you're trying to record things. This one is actually also a cheap microphone, but it has the XLR connection. But the USB connection is going to be great for the average person who doesn't have any of these because it plugs straight in to a USB port on a computer. So they're not the best thing in the world, but they are a big upgrade if you're working from using the webcam microphone that's built into a laptop or things like that. Now that we're past the $50 mark, I want to ask you for 2 quick things, okay? First, if you're liking this content, please hit subscribe. I'm going to have more content for music therapists, music educators coming in the future. Second, I want you to post in the comment, what's the cringiest music-related gift you've ever gotten? Was it a pack of kazoos? Was it the guitar pick stapler? What was it? So, number 6, a decent quality ukulele. So for less than $100, you can get a ukulele, many different brands, but around that $50 price point and up is where ukuleles really go up in quality and don't feel like a toy or something that you got as a souvenir on a trip to Hawaii, but rather something that's playable, usable, that you can teach someone on, that you can record with, that you can play. This one's less than $100, but what I've actually linked here is, if you don't know about the Ukulele Kids Club, I'm going to put a card up here so you can learn more about them. But they're a really awesome organization that donates ukuleles to children in need through music therapy program. Cloud Music makes their beautiful ukuleles, and they actually come with the colored string set that makes it really easy to learn. And when you buy one, it's kind of like, what were those shoes? What were those shoes called? I can't remember what those shoes were called. Those shoes that you used to buy one and you give one. Well, they do that with ukuleles. So this is well worth your extra couple of dollars. It invests in another music therapy program, and you get a cool ukulele as well. Number 7 on the list is, I think, the only thing I have on the list that could double as a chair, and that's a cajon. A cajon is a box drum, and inside it has little strips like a snare drum, and it's really great because like I said, I use it all the time as a portable chair when I'm out and about at a different facility, and it gives me something I have to sit on. It gives me something I can easily sketch out a rhythm with a patient. They're just super useful. You can get a decent quality drum sound, a decent quality recording in something that you don't need like a full drum kit or anything like that. So I think a cajon is a great less than $100. Seems like a lot of them are between that 80 to 120 range, so around there. For somewhere around that $70 to $150 range, I would definitely recommend, for number 8, a MIDI controller. A MIDI controller is like a remote control for virtual instruments. So this allows you to plug in this one through USB to a computer, and there you can play keyboard-based synthesizers. You can also use the drum pads and play drum-based synthesizers or sample-based synthesizers. It gives you a lot of knobs that you can change parameters, do all kinds of cool things. So the one I actually would recommend is around $150 because the Akai MPK Mini Play, you have to make sure it has play at the end of the name. That one actually runs off batteries and has built-in sounds, which is really great for music therapists. To have those synthesized drum beats, synthesizer sounds that you could do in a hospital room, I think that's huge. I've played several of them. I don't own one. This is a really old Arturia Mini Lab controller. They just released a new one as well. This is the Mark 1. They just released the Mark 3. But any USB MIDI controller is going to do the trick, though. Number 9. Another great thing to get would be some 2 or 4 channel audio interface. A lot of people probably recognize that Focusrite, the red one, Scarlett 2i2. Right now I'm using the Behringer Euphoria, the 4-count channel one. So it can be one of these budget brands. It doesn't need to be something super expensive, but for somewhere between that usually $100 to $200 range, you can get a really solid USB audio interface. And that allows you to do things like plug microphones into and get a high quality recording of things like, instruments. You can plug guitars into them. And ultimately, this is like the key to getting better quality recordings with basic instrument setup. So it can usually they accept XLR, the microphone 3-pronged plug, and they accept 1/4 inch, the guitar or instrument jack plug. Number 10 on my list might seem a little ridiculous, but if you've been a traveling music therapist or contractor, you know that something like a wagon or a tote is great. We bought one of these generic ones off of like Vivo Home, off of Amazon, and we've run through 2 of them. They're great. They hold stuff. You can pull stuff. They collapse and they don't take up a lot of space. I feel like it doesn't need a lot of things other than being reliable. And this Vivo Home one we've had has been working for a couple of years, and we use that thing not gently. So I would definitely recommend a wagon. They go anywhere from usually $60 to $100. So I would just pick a size that would fit in somebody's trunk of their car. Before I let you go, I've got 2 bonus ideas. If you want to invest in that music therapist, either for yourself, you want to save up your Christmas money and get some of that, or if you really want to spoil someone that you care about, If there's someone that does like recording music and really maybe is releasing their own music and things like that, I would recommend helping them upgrade to a pro level digital audio workstation. Something I think a great choice for many music therapists is Logic, because it's kind of the big brother of GarageBand, and usually music therapists are pretty familiar with that. But Pro Tools, Studio One, there's a lot of options. So a pro level DAW. And then, so Jamstick sent me this like over a year ago for a totally different project, and it's still like the coolest possible thing I've been playing for the past couple of years. So the Jamstick Studio MIDI guitar, it's a cool MIDI guitar. It doesn't have a headstock. It plugs in just like a regular guitar, but it also has a MIDI plug right here and can control synthesizers just like that MIDI keyboard as a guitar. It can also do those simultaneously. So I'm obsessed with this thing. It's around $800, which for a solid quality electric guitar is already a price you're going to be paying. So this might not be the first electric guitar somebody could buy, but if they already play guitar or they're a guitarist, this is the coolest thing I could possibly put on the list. So I hope you dug these recommendations, and if you did, please hit the subscribe button, and I hope you write down your cringy thing below about what cringy music gifts you've received. I've been re-gifted the same accordion twice, so there's that. Otherwise, don't forget to give more grace, share more love, and make more music.